Ready to Work, the podcast with success secrets for the young tech professional. Hello, I am Brit Sethi, and this is the Ready to Work podcast. If you are in college or have been working for a few years, have you wondered if you should go for higher studies? What are the different options? Which is the right one for you? Given your strengths and specific circumstances, the answers will change. This may require serious reflection on your part because what you decide has huge financial implications and can shape your future career. I am Brit Sethi, and this is the Ready to Work podcast with success secrets for the young tech professional. Today we have with us Dr. Shreekanth Prabhu. Shreekanth is professor and head of the department at CMR Institute of Technology, Department of Information Science and Engineering. In addition to teaching, he is also a prolific researcher and has filed for 5 patents just this year. He has worked in the industry in senior positions in companies such as TCS and Hewlett Packard. His son has done MS in the US, his daughter is studying engineering in India. So he is personally invested in this decision from both before and after perspectives as it pertains to the current times. Shrikant, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us, when should one start thinking of higher studies?
Yeah, based on my experience, when somebody joins undergraduate program itself, I have seen some of my batchmates having some idea about the opportunities for higher education and already heard of which are the best institutes to do higher studies and all that. So having some idea on what opportunities are available early on would really help. That way, people can have some dreams and some goals after engineering. Now, typically, in India, getting a good seat in a good college becomes a some kind of a rat race, and once somebody gets it, if you don't have the next goal, right? People can kind of go astray in the sense that they get caught up in the present, and there is no future to look up to. So it's extremely important to have some idea what will you do after your undergraduation, almost at the early stage, and whoever had that have done much better and have become more successful.
This reminds me of a story that if you want to drive fast on the road, you need to look further down the road, which means that you should be ready for things as they are coming to you at a faster speed, because now your vision has also extended beyond just the immediate road. And what I hear you saying is that if you want to succeed as a professional, then look further down the road. And as soon as you are in the engineering college or you have started doing your graduate level program, it is good to think why you want to study, but kind of look ahead, look further down. Yeah?
That's very true. At the another thing is that the actual planning, what exactly one needs to do, can kind of wait, and there are also multiple kinds of people have succeeded. So it's not like only one approach or one type of people succeeded. So many times what happens is that people also get influenced by their peers or seniors, and they may just blindly do that. And because so the people whom they know have applied abroad, they may apply abroad. Some may try out all two or three different alternatives, and they may just do it, right? Which used to be much easier earlier, and nowadays, the costs are a lot more. So it's very important for any student or children to decide. And the current generation also, they are more sure about their choices. They also would tend to make a choice than try out multiple things and see how it goes.
If you were in the US or you were in some other country where youngsters have fairly independent lives, you would probably end up taking a huge financial loan before you went for your higher studies. Now, when we are in India, you still might be taking a loan, but you know that the support system of your family and your parents is there. But nevertheless, it is hard earned money, and it is a lot of money when you start converting rupees to dollars. So, what Shrikant you're saying, I think, is doubly, triply more important because the money that we have is in rupees that will translate to dollars.
That's right. So, doing higher studies in India and higher studies abroad both have their own advantages and disadvantages. And if somebody is doing it abroad in countries where there are job opportunities, the cost of education also tends to be higher. It may cost at least around 50, 60 lakhs, all expenses covered, or even more, to do an MS in US for 2 years. And typically education loans in India tend to be at high interest rates, or you have to put a collateral and all that. So that's one part. So one should be ideally very clear and about why they are going for higher studies, and very determined about it.
If I can ask you, what are the different options from the point of view of a person who has not made any plans to go abroad?
Right. A typical engineer may not know what exactly management education means. And many people may not know what is the civil services career path means, right? And they may have a lot of prejudices, or, some stereotype perception. Say, for example, we can look at there are two, three ways one can go about making a choice, right? At an abstract level, one should ask oneself, what does he really enjoy, right? Say, for example, as a person, if you like to think deeply about something, right, and you enjoy coming up with some new approaches, new methods, new models, you are more of a thinking type, research would be much more ideal for you. On the other hand, if you're a people's person, right, people person, you want to make a difference to the people, right? You have something like a medical career, legal career, or administrative career, where you can make a lot of difference to the people. Yeah, that may give you a lot of satisfaction. And thirdly, there are a set of people who like to, run things, or do, like to run some events, or, like to run a huge organization. So they are more focused on doing something. They want to be very active. They want to go here, go there, achieve something, achieve that, and all that. And they want to have a somewhat all-rounded perspective. Then somebody may choose a management education. But many times what we don't understand is that even in management education there are opportunities for research. Even in engineering education or a research education, there are opportunities for management. And even in administration, right, there are opportunities which require, somebody's management skills, or, scientific bent of mind, or engineering approach, right? So a person can get fulfillment in any of the career paths a person chooses.
So I think the keyword is do it for the right reasons. Don't
Yes,
do it because everybody else is doing it, or don't do it because it's the easiest way forward. Don't do it because you just want to chill for some more time. Do it because you are
yes.
fundamentally good in it, and do it because it attracts you and you want to spend more time in it. So both liking for it, passion for it, and also capability for it, both are important, and those are the right reasons.
Right.
And how does one decide what is right for me?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. So I definitely, would say that. It's good to have experience which takes you to the different places, enables you to interact with a lot of people. It's definitely very valuable because it changes your perspective, and it in a way it kind of educates you as a person, and you end up learning how to work in different culture, their work culture, their value systems. Having said that, what one needs to do does not come very automatically. Somebody has to really think through what does he really want, what is it that really satisfies one person, right, oneself, right. So that is also important because all these exposures are preparing you as an individual, strengthening you as an individual, and making you capable to fight any battle. But which battle should you fight? I mean, that choice is yours.
Right. So one is you are deciding where you want to get planted, and then when you get planted at any place, give it your best, and that way you will learn the most, not only about what needs to be done, but about yourself. And by trying out different options, you can then arrive at what you want to be doing for the rest of your life.
That's right. That's right.
So while we are at it, do you want to also speak a little bit about what is possible if you stay in India only?
Yeah. See, India has enormous opportunities, right? Say, for example, in India, if you do a master's, government will pay the scholarship, and there are programs, which now pay even up to 50,000, 70,000 rupees. And today, the faculty members in IIS and IITs are the world's best. You can see the NPTEL courseware, which is probably much better than some of the Coursera courses. So there are enormous opportunities for somebody who wants to do masters in India. Another advantage, if you are doing a PhD in India, is that you are much more freer to choose the topic you want to do work in. Whereas in overseas, majority of the research work tends to get funded. So you may not get to choose what you want to work on as much as you get in India, right? This applies not only for research scholars but also for teachers, students, and everybody, right? So that advantage is there in India. When it comes to a learning experience, right? The overseas education has has a just as an experience is really very valuable because a teacher um, prepares say 3 hours or more to give a 1 hour lecture, right? So, each teacher may spend a month or two to really prepare what to communicate, how to communicate, and that in-depth knowledge which you can learn from some of the best teachers, is much more possible in US institutions, and it's also kind of happening in India also because the way they look at it is that a typical semester a student may spend only say 15 hours per week in classrooms. But once somebody in a classroom, he may have 3 hours of homework or something which he needs to work on after the class. So that putting your skin in the game is a lot more in an American education system, whereas in Indian education system, even though at the teacher end it is getting more and more covered, the focus on assignments and personal personal involvement is also yet to come to the same level.
So, so thanks a lot. I mean, I have learned a few useful things myself today, and you have taken the time to speak, and you have probably spent even more time preparing before you speak. Just like you mentioned that professors in the US give ample time for preparation and thought before they speak out. So, thank you very much, Shrikant.
And thanks, Rich. Thanks for the opportunity.
If you like this podcast, do subscribe to our weekly episodes. Please also visit www.readytowork.in for more insights on career readiness. I'm your host, Brij Sethi, and this is the Ready to Work podcast, the podcast with success secrets for the young tech professional.